It could just be poor decisions that you made that threw your life off course, and you haven't forgiven yourself for that because you wanted to walk a certain path and wanted life to be a certain way, but you made certain choices and certain decisions that your life has taken this wind, turn, curvy road, and you haven't forgiven yourself for that. Hey friends, welcome to the More Than a Mother show. I am your host, LaJuan Moses, and I am a mom on a mission to help you master your mindset, own your time, and make money moves. Join me each week for tangible tips, tools, and strategies you can use in motherhood, business, and life, as well as inspiring interviews from moms just like you, which will help you own your identity outside of motherhood and find the freedom to do more of the things that you love and enjoy. At More Than a Mother, we are redefining the way you think, feel, and look at motherhood. If you are enjoying this show, feeling inspired and motivated, learning something new, or just absolutely love the show, please do me a favor and help me spread the word. Screenshot this episode and share your biggest takeaways in your Instagram stories. And don't forget to tag me at LaJuan Moses and also tag at More Than a Mother podcast so that I can share your share with my audience. Each time you share the show, it helps me to reach more and more moms just like you. So are you ready, mama? Let's go. Hey there, welcome back to the More Than a Mother podcast. This is your host, LaJuan Moses, back with you again for another episode. If this is your first time listening, I am so excited to have you here with me today. At More Than a Mother podcast, we believe that you can be a great mom and pursue your dreams at the same time. I help my clients to shift their mindset and unleash their power so that they can start a profitable business and build a lasting legacy. My clients are taking ownership over their lives so they can find the freedom to do more of the things that they love and enjoy. At More Than a Mother podcast, we believe you can pursue your dreams and be a great mom at the same time. So if you found me, if you're here, you are definitely in the right place. Whether you are a work-at-home mom, a stay-at-home mom, a working mom, a mom with full-time entrepreneur, side business, whatever it may be, you are definitely in the right place. If you want to start a business, all the things, I welcome all of my moms, all of you here with me today. Today, I wanted to talk to you about decision making. Yeah, I know, that makes me cringe also. The thoughts of making a decision. But before we get into that, be sure to subscribe, rate, leave a review, and share this with all of your friends. And if you are joining me on YouTube, if you're watching this video, subscribe and join the community here on YouTube as well, because I just love having you here and I love that you can see my face, and one day I hope to see your face. So today, let's talk about decisions. How many of you cringe when you hear the word a decision? How many of you suffer from decision fatigue? You get tired of having to make decisions and you just find yourself overthinking things. If you're watching on the video, you can see that I raised my hand, but for my listeners, my hand is up. I can put both my hands up because I really suffer when it comes to making decisions. So I figure if I suffer from making decisions, then all of you listening to me, you probably suffer with making decisions as well. But why is that? Why do we struggle so much when it's time to make a decision? Recently, I've started just doing some reflection, some journaling. I'm currently using this 365-day journal called Soul Therapy, which gives me a prompt every day to really help me to reconnect with myself and just get in touch with myself and really just gain some clarity in my own mind. Because if you didn't know, we all need some therapy. We all need someone to talk to. Everybody needs a coach or something to bounce some ideas off, to walk them through some things and just to really help them. So yes, I believe in therapy and I believe in God, and there is nothing wrong with that. But lately, I found myself just being overwhelmed by having to make all of these decisions. Let's face it, we have been in some type of quarantine, isolation, stay-at-home order since March of 2020. And we went from being outside the home, a lot of us, to being inside the home all the time with our whole entire family, being workers, business people, teachers, summer camp counselors, extracurricular activities, dance instructors, all the things that you can think of, all of a sudden fell on the mom, fell in the household, and here we are. So if you're like me, after months of being in this situation, you're having to think of, what am I making for dinner? What are we going to have for lunch? What are we going to have for breakfast? What are we going to do today to keep everyone occupied so that no one goes crazy? We have been making so many decisions, many more decisions than usual, since this whole COVID-19 quarantine thing has happened. And after a while, you reach a point where you are just like, I am tired of making decisions. Yes, decision fatigue, tired of making decisions. But why do we get so caught up in the simple things such as, what should we have for dinner tonight? Why are we afraid to commit to a decision, to choose something? Why don't we want to make a choice? Why don't we want to make a decision? Why do we overthink things? Because I am the queen of overthinking. Like, I can have an idea, know what I want to do, how I want to do it, but I will go to research, and get stuck in the planning phase. Can you relate to that? Where you just want to do something, but you're overthinking it. You know you have the skills, but you doubt yourself. You know there's a plan, you know that you can get it done, but you're steady thinking about it and not taking action. And why is that? I'm glad you asked. When it comes to decision and our failures to wanting to choose and not really commit to anything, it goes back to us not trusting ourselves to make the right choice. Think about that. You get stuck overthinking because you're afraid that you're going to make the wrong choice. You think that by picking one thing, by committing to one thing, what if the other thing was right? What if this is the wrong decision? What if this is the wrong choice? You question yourself, you play it over and over again in your mind. And why? Because you're not trusting yourself. And most likely that lack of trust is coming from past experiences, past decision, where that tape is playing in your head as, okay, last time I made this decision and things didn't go right. So now I'm afraid to commit. Now I'm afraid to make a choice because what if it goes wrong again? But it's time for you to stop replaying that script in your head. Stop dwelling on the past. Stop thinking about those past situations and start to put some trust into yourself. Start to heal from your past, deal with the issues of your past so that you're not held up in this overthinking phase and this phase where we do not want to make a decision because we're fearing failure and fearing that we're going to make the wrong choice. You need to forgive yourself. If you love podcasts as much as I do, then you've probably thought about starting your own. Whether you're looking for a new marketing channel, have a message you want to share with the world, or just think it would be fun to have your own talk show, podcasting is an easy, inexpensive, and fun way to expand your reach online. You can simply start with some gear that you already have and find a quiet space and hit record. Podcasting isn't hard, especially when you have the right partners, and that's why I chose Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and so many more, within minutes of finishing your recording. With Buzzsprout, you'll get a great-looking podcast website, audio players that you can drop into other websites, detailed analytics to see how people are listening, tools to promote your episodes, and so much more. Plus, the team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you succeed. No need to wait. Head on over to Buzzsprout and get started on your podcast today. Best of all, following the link in the show notes lets Buzzsprout know I sent you, gets you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, and also helps support my show. Join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Head on over to Buzzsprout and let's create something great together. Yes, Who knew that forgiveness goes with decision making? But think about it. When we replay those scripts, when we think about what happened in the past, when we beat ourselves up for past decisions that we made that didn't turn out the right way, we're living in that past moment. We haven't forgiven ourselves for what went wrong. We haven't forgiven ourselves for how the situation played out. We're sitting in a state of unforgiveness. And as long as we sit in that state where we haven't forgiven ourselves, we're going to be stuck when it comes to making those simple decisions because we're not going to trust ourselves because we keep giving ourselves the wrong message. So I'm challenging you today to start taking steps to forgive yourself. Forgiveness is a hard battle. It is something that I struggled with for so long, especially self-forgiveness. Because the thing is, what people don't realize is that when you forgive, it doesn't necessarily mean forget. Forgiveness is saying that I am making a choice not to dwell on this situation anymore. But as human beings, it still plays in our mind. But we're not going to get stuck there. So when we forgive ourselves, we are freeing ourselves from our past, freeing ourselves from our poor choices or bad decisions that we made. We are really opening up our future to so many blessings, so many opportunities, and really just that freedom of thought to where we are able to make a decision. When you're in that stage where you're stuck with making a decision, where you're doubting yourself, think about, what do I need to forgive myself for? What is keeping me in this place of indecisiveness? Why do I doubt everything that I go to do? And it may not even have anything to do with the situation at hand. You may be thinking about dinner and trying to figure out what you're going to have for dinner and can't make a choice on that. But it may not even have, the thing in your past may not have anything to do with a meal. It could have to do with anything. But we have those strongholds, those things that hold us, those things that keep us bound, and it's up to us to break free from them. And the only way to break free from them is to confront them head on and deal with them. A lot of us don't want to forgive. We don't want to walk down that path of dealing with our past because it's going to cause us to confront ourselves. It's going to cause us to confront our ugly moments, the moments we weren't our best. If it has to deal with someone else, it's going to confront the moments where someone may not have treated us well. And we hold on to that because holding on to it and brushing it under the rug is so much easier than dealing with the emotion, the pain, the anger, the hurt, whatever may come from that. It's so much easier just to kind of sweep it under and keep going and act like we're okay when really we're not okay. You can only sweep those emotions under the rug for so long because they will start to eat away at you. You will become bitter. You will become miserable because those messages are still there. Those feelings are still there. Those situations are still playing out in your head that you haven't dealt with. And the thing is, nobody can deal with it but you. You can point the finger all day long at someone else about what they didn't do, what they could have done, how they could have did things differently. But really, it doesn't matter what they would have done because you would have found a way to flip it and see the bad in it. So you really have to get to that point of forgiving yourself, of freeing your mind. That way you're not thinking about those past mistakes. You're not overthinking simple decisions. You're not overthinking big decisions. You are getting out of your own way. You are shifting your mindset so that you can start to build your legacy. I mean, how can you build a legacy? How can you start your business? How can you really just build anything sustainable if you're still holding on to the past? You can't take your past with you into the future. Yes, it will be with you, but if you're holding on to that baggage, think about how it's weighing you down. Think about how it's stopping you from reaching your destiny, from reaching your goals, from reaching your success. Think about it. You're dragging around this heavy bag filled with all that past stuff, all those things that are causing that doubt in your mind every time you have to make a decision, all those things that are putting you in a state of indecisiveness because you haven't forgiven, because you haven't dealt with it, because you haven't worked with the emotions. So I am encouraging you today to sit down, make a list, all those things that you are holding on to, start to make that list so that you can start to confront them head on, whether it is things that have to deal with you personally, things that have to deal with other people, whatever that is, if it's childhood trauma, if it's trauma in your teen years, whatever it is, adulthood trauma, if it's bad decisions that you feel you made that you're holding on to. It doesn't always have to be something as deep as trauma and as harmful as trauma. It could just be poor decisions that you made that threw your life off course, and you haven't forgiven yourself for that because you wanted to walk a certain path and wanted life to be a certain way, but you made certain choices and certain decisions that your life has taken this wind, turn, curvy road, and you haven't forgiven yourself for that. Think about all the things you have to forgive yourself for. Think about all those things that are holding you back, all those things that are keeping you bound, and start the process of forgiveness. There is so much freedom in forgiveness. There's so much joy in forgiveness. There's so much peace and so much contentment. Do you want immediate access to new episodes, products, events, and even free tips, tools, and strategies delivered straight to you? Well, join the More Than a Mother community today. Head on over to lawanmoses.com and become a part of our community right now. That's www.lawannmoses.com. I can't wait to see you inside my community. It is up to you to take the steps to forgive. It's not easy. It's going to be some ugly days, but you have to do it. You have to get it done. Only you can do it. If you want to build that legacy, if you want to leave that, make an impact, if you want to build that business, if you want to push forward full steam ahead towards your dreams and goals, if you want to be the best mother, best spouse, best partner, best anything that you can be, you got to let it go. You have to let those things go. Because when you let those things go, you open up your mind, you gain so much clarity so that the process of decision making is not so hard. So ask yourself today, what things do I have to let go? What things are holding me back? How can I take the steps to let them go so that I can stop overthinking, stop fearing making decisions, and start taking action? Thank you so much for listening and joining me today. I am so glad that you were here. Head on over to Instagram or even in the comments if you're on YouTube and let me know how you can practice forgiveness today. Let me know if this message resonated with you and if you want to hear more about forgiveness. I would love to hear from you. I'm so glad to have you here. Be sure to subscribe, to rate, to leave a review, share this message, take a screenshot, put it on your Instagram stories, tag me in it so that I can share it with my audience and share it with your friends, share it with your audience. Get the word out about the More Than a Mother podcast. I am here for you, moms. We are pursuing our dreams. We are redefining and flipping the script on motherhood and saying, I am a mom, but I am also a person and a human being, and I matter. Until next time, I will talk to you later. I'm so glad that you joined me, and I just can't wait to see you again. Want to connect with me before the next episode drops? Do you want a preview of all the great things that are coming to the More Than a Mother podcast? Then join me over on Instagram and Facebook at More Than a Mother podcast. I can't wait to connect with you. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, head over to lawanmoses.com. I love for us to stay in touch. Make sure you leave your email address so I can send you inspiration, tips, and the latest updates. Or, if you prefer, text the word MORE, that's MORE, to 302-440-4632. We have some great things coming up, and I don't want you to miss a thing. Thanks again. Make sure you subscribe and leave a review. Until next time, keep pressing because victory is yours.